Zimbabwe cash crisis worse.
Talking about Venezuela once again.
Systemic important banks. They removed the 1,000 thing called monetary awareness. Hey there, hope all is well. Back at you today with some RT News updates. And as you turn from today's title, we're going to be talking about the idea that the super rich have a plan B, and it has to do with escaping the mainland in pursuit of property or a bunker in the country of New Zealand. And so I want to thank the RTD viewer who sent me this article here to share with you guys. So I think it plays into the idea that a lot of people are aware of something that's happening right now behind the scenes. And it's interesting how those that are considered the super rich or the 1%ers are getting prepared for what might be considered by some to be some type of apocalyptic type of event here. But it's very interesting how earlier this week I mentioned that when executives and bankers come out telling you that the markets are artificial and something is about to give, this article is very timely as to how it shares information, and two, the getaway plan for those that are considered to be the top 1%ers of our country. But before I dive into today's articles, as always, RTD want to encourage you to click the subscribe button along with the notification tab to be informed of future updates as well as live streams. Also join me on Twitter where I share posts throughout the day on various subject matters dealing with our monetary system as well as whatever's happening in the news that I can't get to via video. Make sure you click the button down below to be notified when things are posted. So today I just have one article from Bloomberg, and it was written earlier this week, and I think it does a great job of laying out somewhat of a general game plan that those that are considered the super rich have in reference as to how they would get up out of this country if need be, if there was some type of dire emergency and they needed to flee right away. And so it's entitled, "The Super Rich of Silicon Valley Have a Doomsday Escape Plan." And just to give you a summary of what it's about, it says, wealthy Americans have stepped up investment in New Zealand. It says the parliament votes to ban foreigners from buying boathold homes. So the article starts off with some cartoon illustrations here. It has to do with the idea of some Silicon Valley executives meeting over drinks or whatnot, and they're all talking about how the world might end. And then they mention here biowarfare, disease, crops, robot uprisings and whatnot. And then it says, number one, have supplies ready. And it's interesting to see what supplies that are included in this getaway bag here. It said a gas mask, medicine, food, cash, ammo, guns, and gold. And then it says, number two, have a moped and guns ready. And then it shows someone fleeing away from zombies, it looks like. And then number three, it says, have a private plane in Nevada. And then it says, four, meet billionaire buddies at the Gulfstream jet. And so to scroll through this article a little bit, give you some what's going on here. It says, years of doomsday talk at Silicon Valley dinners, parties have turned to action. It says in recent months, two 150-ton survival bunkers journeyed by land and sea from Texas warehouse to the shores of New Zealand. It says 7 Silicon Valley entrepreneurs have purchased bunkers from Rising S Company and planted them in New Zealand in the past 2 years. It says, quote, New Zealand is an enemy of no one, Lynch said in an interview from his office in Murchison, Texas, southeast of Dallas. Quote, it says, it's not a nuclear target, it's not a target for war, it's a place where people seek refuge. Then it says a remote island clinging to the south part of the globe, 2,500 miles off Australia's coast, has 4.8 million people and 6 times as many sheep. Says such notoriety has made New Zealand's isolation, once deemed an economic handicap, one of its biggest assets. Says billionaire hedge funds Julian Robertson owns a lodge overlooking a lake in Queenstown, the South Island's luxury resort destination. Says more than 10 million Americans from the West Coast have bought multi-million-dollar properties in Queenstown region in the past 2 years. Scroll down a bit more, it gives you an idea as to what the plan actually looks like. It says inside the Gulf G55 jet. It says it's one of the top jets that can make a 7-mile trip from Nevada to New Zealand in just one haul. And it says 5 Silicon CEOs own share in the escape jet. And so apparently in Nevada somewhere, there's plans for 5 executives as of now to meet up in a worst case scenario to take one plane to the country of New Zealand. Then scroll down some more, it says here. It says at 3 recent Silicon Valley dinner parties, guests discussed bugging out to New Zealand if there's trouble, according to attendees who asked not to be identified because the events were private. It says at one moment, a prominent venture capitalist was said to have told fellow diners of his escape plans. It says in the garage of his San Francisco home, told guests he has a bag of guns hanging from the handlebars of a motorcycle. It says the bike will allow him to weave through traffic on the way to his private plane, and the guns are for defense against encroaching zombies that may threaten his getaway. And so the very fact that we have a venture capitalist talking about guns on his motorcycle because of the zombies that will be trying to chase him down lets you know how scared the super rich are in reference to the idea that they will be the primary target if stuff does hit the fan like they predicted might happen. And then what's very interesting is you scroll down further, it gives you a diagram of the deluxe bomb shelter here, but yet it encompasses everything you need, which is a kitchen, pantry, library, gun room, and all that. And what's most interesting is the fact that, as it says, hidden entrance only located by GPS. So it basically means that you can be right above it and not even know it's there. And so it gives you some more illustrations here. But this is what's happening in the news. I thought I would definitely share this with you guys because they are preparing for some type of event. Not sure exactly how it may unfold, but yet they are in the know. And so whenever you see articles like this printed in mainstream news outlets, it lets me know that there's probably hundreds, if not thousands of those that are considered super rich that have already made preparations for the day that this economy comes to an end and they need to get up out of this country due to the fact that there's a massive gap of income inequality in this country here. And it's good to say that when the markets collapse and everyone begins to point the blame at someone, they're going to point the blame at those that are on the higher end of the totem pole, and that is the super rich and whatnot. So they're getting up out of here. So I just want to share this article, give you guys something to think about over this weekend. Other than that, look forward to hearing your thoughts and comments on this article. Leave it down below. Look forward to bringing more RT News updates. Enjoy your day.
The strength of a nation's currency is based on the strength of that nation's economy. I have directed the Secretary of the Treasury to take the action necessary to defend the dollar against the speculator. I have directed Secretary Connally to suspend temporarily the convertibility of the dollar into gold or other reserve assets. Your dollar will be worth just as much tomorrow as it is today.